PK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live from High Corbett Field on this Tuesday afternoon. It's Arizona baseball tonight. Baseball night in Arizona. Your Wildcats are going to take on West Virginia tonight. A team from the Big 12, but this is not a Big 12 game tonight. It is, in fact, a midweek game, and sometimes you'll see that nowadays. But West Virginia comes in here. They are the 13th ranked team in the country, so it will not be an easy task for your Wildcats, who are struggling this season and are coming off a weekend sweep at the hands of the UCF Knights down south. So they will try to get back on track here tonight and then welcome in the rivals this weekend. 19-5 West Virginia is coming to town. They are 7-2 in the conference. The Wildcats are 2-7 in conference play. You remember these two teams met in the Big 12 tournament last year, and the Mountaineers were the favorite, as they were, I'm not mistaken if I remember correctly, the Mountaineers won the regular season Big 12 championship last year in baseball, but the Wildcats knocked them out of the conference tournament. They are here, obviously, coming off a weekend that they spent up in Tempe, where they played 3 games against the Sun Devils, winning 2 of those games against the Sun Devils, scoring 22 runs, in fact, in the last 2 games against ASU. So they will play this midweek game out here before they head back home, and will face the same UCF team that knocked off the Wildcats over the weekend down in Florida. So if you're heading out to the ball game tonight here at High Corbett Field, it's it's windy, it's a little overcast. I know there's been some rain in certain areas of town. JW Madden back in studio. JW, were saying it was raining over in the CNWT a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, we're getting what we like to call sun showers, which is there's no sun above it, but it's just a big deluge of rain for over about 30 seconds and then stops. So it's not even sprinkling out there. It's just a lot of the members of the building decided to go out all at the same time because we did get a nice bit of rain. Creosote started to make some nice smells out there, but it currently not raining out here, but looks like it could at any moment. So stay dry.
It was a bit of a downpour then in the CNW.
It was, yeah. I mean, big drops, and you could definitely see it on the ground, but only lasting about 45 seconds, maybe a minute.
Did not rain. We were on campus, obviously, for the Tommy Lloyd press conference a little bit earlier. Did not rain, or was not raining at the time on campus. Looked like it might get some rain over on this side of town here, over in the central part, midtown part of Tucson by Reed Park, but we'll see. We'll see if that holds off. I don't imagine it's going to be anything that will affect the first pitch here tonight, which is 6 o'clock. This game tonight will not be on radio, just so you're aware. Not on radio, but you can watch it on ESPN Plus. And then we will have Thursday and Friday night's games, the first 2 games of the series against ASU. Those games will be on radio here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Obviously, with the Easter weekend coming up, all the weekend play throughout the Big 12 in both baseball and softball moved up to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with no action on Sunday for the holiday. So the Sun Devils will be in here for the playing of the second, third, and fourth games of the season series. The 2 teams will play 5 times. They've already played once, with the Sun Devils winning the initial game up in Tempe last month, or earlier this month, I should say. And then they'll play an additional game up in Tempe later on in the season. The 3-game, obviously, conference series will be contested here. Sun Devils winning that first game, so they have the upper hand on the Territorial Cup Series. The final game in the series will actually be after the Wildcats return home from their road trip next week to TCU. They'll play that game Monday, April the 13th, up in Tempe, the 5th game in the series this year. Obviously, we're also getting you set for Arizona basketball's appearance in the Final Four, which is coming up this weekend. We had a chance to hear from Tommy Lloyd earlier today. The Wildcats back on the practice court today for the first time since returning home. Tommy had a chance to talk about a number of things during his press conference today. We heard him talk about just the emotion of arriving back and seeing all the fans here this past Saturday night, or I should say really early Sunday morning, arriving around 1:30 a.m. And it was a quite a raucous throng for sure, and just some of the differences. They've been traveling 2 days out for the first two rounds of the series of the NCAA tournament. They obviously will go 3 days out. This time around, they will leave tomorrow and get into Indianapolis tomorrow night because the media obligations begin Thursday. There's generally only 1 day of media obligations ahead of the opening game that you play at a tournament site, but in the instance of the Final Four, the Wildcats will have media obligations on both Thursday and Friday in Indianapolis, and so they will arrive Wednesday night to prepare for that. And J-Dub, I thought he made an interesting point that where he said there's basically two instances to the Final Four. There's the Final Four for the spectators, and there's the Final Four for the participants. And obviously the Wildcats are going there as a participant. I mean, this is as big a business trip as you will get in any college basketball season.
I mean, DK, how much is the average ticket for the Final Four game?
Well, I had heard they were starting. Well, actually, no. That was. I'm trying to remember if the price I heard was starting at like 5,000. And
it says here like about 700 to 1,500, something like that is like the average. So what I'm getting at is that if you're spending the money to go out there, the organization, the NCAA, and the venue that puts it on, there's a lot of hoopla that goes on around that. So it's very easy to get distracted. There's a lot of things set up to keep fans engaged and entertained. And I think Coach Lloyd is just really saying if you get lost in all the extracurriculars going on off the court, it's probably easy to get distracted by all that, but they're just there on a business trip. So go back when you're older if you want to experience the fan side of things.
Exactly. Like I'm sure there'll be a ton of Wildcat alums who will that have played in Final Fours prior that are heading back this weekend to now enjoy the game and enjoy the weekend as spectators and have a chance to break bread with their brethren and relive those memories. In fact, J-Dub, it was what are we now? 29 years ago today that the Arizona Wildcats won their only other national championship.
That's right. It's an anniversary of the 97 team cutting the nets down versus Kentucky in overtime. So there's lots of anniversaries this time of year, DK. I'm really looking forward to that Indianapolis trip. And my real question is Coach Gardner going to be the one who's taking everybody around? Because that's his hometown, right?
Yeah. And how ironic. Last time they won it in 1997, it was in the same city. I don't think Lucas Oil was the building at that time. I think it was they had a dome back in the day.
It was a different spot for sure. And I think if my memory serves, that was one of the reasons why he chose Arizona was that Final Four team in Indianapolis.
Absolutely. In fact, if I remember the story he told earlier this year, they had a practice at his high school.
That's right. In his high school, North Central, right. Famous high school.
Right. So they had a practice at his high school, and Wildcats went on to win their only national championship. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. In fact, we in commemoration of the 1997 national championship, which was christened on March 31st of that year, we're going to talk to one of the guys on that team today. A.J. Bramlett is going to join us on the show. We'll pick A.J.'s brain on what he remembers from that night, besides the famous video of him messing up Lute Olson's hair. I would imagine that's probably what he remembers most from that night messing up Lute Olson's hair because that's what pretty much everybody remembers about A.J. Bramlett that night.
Shout out to our guy, Captain Kelvin Ifon, as well, because I don't know why, DK, but this anniversary kind of snuck up, and I reached out to Kelvin and asked if he could reach into his Rolodex, and he was nice enough to find Mr. Bramlett. And obviously, we saw him, right? Didn't we see him at McHale the other day with his family?
Yeah, he's a frequent. He frequents several games throughout the season for sure.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I mean, what great memories. That run was so – I mean, it's just one of the most outrageous runs in the history of college sports. I mean, they were not they didn't play very well in the middle of the season. They didn't play great at the end of the season, 5th place in the conference, right? But still only team to beat 3 number 1 seeds. And that feat, just the idea of beating the 3 highest-ranked teams in each of the brackets outside of obviously you can't – beating all 3 number 1 seeds anyways, the most you can beat, was just such an incredible and the fact that that was Dean Smith's last coach game in the semifinals. That was Pitino's last game in Kentucky, right, in the finals. So just a lot of memories, a lot of history, and man, it's really, I can't believe it's been that long. It doesn't seem like it was yesterday, DK, but it doesn't quite seem like it's been, 39 years.
No, it's definitely some memories there. Some time ago for sure, and we'll ask AJ about what he remembers about that, and obviously his thoughts about this year's team as well. Also joining us on the program a little bit later in the 4 o'clock hour, we'll chat with Matt Muehlbach, who was on the first Wildcat team that went to the Final Four back in 1988. We'll get his thoughts on what it's like to be in this round of the tournament. So we got some good Arizona Wildcat basketball talk coming up for you. But, of course, we are out here at High Corbett Field for baseball, so we're going to chat some Wildcat baseball with you as well on this Tuesday. We're going to get a chance to meet the new pitching coach for the Wildcats, Sean Kenny. Again, Sean Kenny is your new pitching coach. He came into the situation late when John DeRowan, who was promoted after Kevin Vance left to take over the head coaching job at San Diego State. And I've not looked to see how San Diego State is doing. I'll have to see how Kevin is doing over there in his first season. But when Kevin took the job at San Diego State, John DeRowan, who was the assistant pitching coach for the last several years with the Wildcats, was promoted into the pitching coach role. But then he got an opportunity to go back and work in professional baseball down in the minor league system with the New York Mets. So John DeRowan left in December, and Sean Kenny came in to take a position on Chip Hale's staff. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where this thing flows. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The Wildcats are not where they want to be right now in terms of their overall record. Has not been the season that anyone had hoped for at 9-18, 9 games under 500, 2-7, 5 under in Big 12 conference play. But there is still time. There is still time to turn this thing around. The Wildcats are in a position now where they're probably going to have to win the Big 12 tournament. They're not going to get in as an at-large team at this point to the NCAA tournament to try to create another run to Omaha. But, and I said earlier this week, and I'll ask Sean Kenny about it when we talk to him, but I still believe that this team can get to Omaha. They can at least get to the post. You got to get to the postseason first before you can get to Omaha. I believe this team can get to the postseason. They've got the starting pitching. It just has not come together. But if those 3 guys, Owen Kramkowski and Smith Bailey and Luke Flotta, if those 3 guys can come together, you've got a shot. You've got a shot in a short tournament to be able to quickly get that automatic bid to get into the NCAA tournament. And if those guys can get going, in any short series in the postseason, Arizona's going to have a chance. So, yeah, it's not good sitting at 27 games in right now. But, man, if the light comes on, and it can come on for those 3 guys at the right time, you still have plenty of opportunity to do everything that you wanted to do this season. We'll see. Again, even last year's team, I mean, they weren't in this position, 9 games under, but they weren't necessarily all that great through 27, and things kind of turned on. Midway through the Big 12 conference, they finished strong, played well in the Big 12 tournament, and then caught fire in May to get to where they wanted to be which was Omaha, Nebraska. And still plenty of season to play out, and we'll see where it takes this Arizona baseball team. All right, 520-840-1290. If you want to get in, talk Arizona baseball, talk Arizona basketball. If you were up at Diamondbacks opening night last night at home, they won finally. Got a win against the Tigers, battered around Justin Verlander in his return to Detroit. A great outing by Mike Soroka, the new pitcher and one of the newest pitchers in the rotation. We'll get into all that as well as we roll through with you till 6 o'clock. Cricket is right now coming up. She's giving you everything you need to know about the traffic and this interesting weather that we have going on here today. She does it every 20 minutes on the Fives.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported River and Sabino Canyon and River Road. Crash reported at 1st and Prince Road and 1st Avenue. Slowdowns. We got some pretty heavy backups eastbound I-10 approaching Emperita Road due to road work and a reduced speed limit. Busy travel on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells, also on Swan at Grant. Chance of rain into the night. 64 the overnight low, 78 and partly cloudy tomorrow. 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With 10 extravagant items for $3 or less, Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu is starting to feel utterly fancy, especially with its new chocolate fudge and caramel empanadas. Enjoy. Just don't let the Luxe go to your head. Price and participation varies for a limited time. Tax extra.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me.
Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Morning begins in the Rincon Foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro.
Hey, DK.
17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by
1290 is the number to get in on the program. 30 next year. 29 years ago tonight, Arizona won their one and only national championship in college basketball. And they will try to do number 2 this weekend in Indianapolis, same place they did number 1, a guy that was there that night and was a part of that 97 team. A.J. Bramlett joins us now. A.J., appreciate you taking some time to join us. Can you believe it's been 29 years?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Next year, 30 years. I mean, time has flown by, and at least we're back where we need to be in the Final Four, right? At this time, these guys have been amazing.
What has been your impression? Because you've been in town, you've seen a few games of this team in person. What's been your impression of what you've seen from this Tommy Lloyd crew this season?
I mean, from the way that they developed, I was out there for the Red-Blue game and watched, some of their early practices to where they're at now, and the development of guys like Karchinkov and Braden Burries and Koa and all those guys. Like, it's incredible to see these guys have had, one of the best seasons of all time so far, and, beat, 14 ranked opponents or 15 or whatever it is, and, fought through adversity with guys being out during the year. And to be able to rise to the occasion each and every time, it's just been something special to watch, man. It's been a really exciting and fun time to be, an Arizona Wildcat alumni.
You mentioned, you haven't actually have a chance to go in and watch some practices. What do you see when you're in there? How is Tommy and his staff? What were some of the things that stood out to you about the way they go about their business in the practice setting?
Similar to Coach Olson, it's the attention to details, right? And then nothing's left to chance. If you make a mistake, it's going to be corrected, in a positive manner, but it's going to be addressed so that, when you get into the games and you're in that pressure, that you're able to perform the way that you need to. And, early in the season, I was, my son and I were out there for the Red-Blue game, and, we said after the game on Saturday, it was like, did you think these guys were going to be this good? And, neither one of us thought. We thought they were going to have a good season, but definitely, didn't expect where they're at. It's not that they could make a Final Four run, but just not in the fashion that they've done it this year. It's been pretty damn amazing, man.
A.J. Bramlett is our guest, Arizona Wildcats forward, a part of the 1997 National Championship team. A.J., when you look at obviously your position forward, and you look at guys like we have Ivan Karchinkov off all the wing and the things that he can do, and Toby Awaka just kind of the enforcer and a man amongst boys against the boards. What's kind of fascinating about the vastly two different ways that those two guys play the game?
Yeah, the one thing that they have in common is that they're extremely physical, right? Both of those guys are not scared to bang, to do the dirty work, to out-muscle and outwork everybody in the paint. And, Karchinkov on the perimeter, they're both really great defenders. Karchinkov's development at the beginning of the season has been pretty incredible to watch. He's a super, calming influence for us. Makes hustle plays, doesn't always get, all the credit, but he makes winning plays throughout every single game. And people don't understand that he's 6'7", 240 or 250 or whatever he is. So he's huge. And then Tobey's Tobey's an animal, man. I love him. I love to watch him play. Like, he dominates. People are intimidated by him. He's a incredible rebounder. For the time that he's on the floor, one of the top in the country, which I love. Because that was similar to what I like to do. And those two guys are just. But it goes down. From top to bottom, all the guys are like that. They all do. They're all winners. They play winning basketball. And they're extremely physical, which I think is the difference, with this team with some previous teams, that we've had in the past. So, it's been really fun to watch.
Yeah, you talk about the physicality, and one of the things that's kind of stood out to me in a couple of games recently is just, the picks that we've seen from some of these guys. Koa Pete threw a pick in the Utah State game that put two guys on the ground, and then even Jaden Bradley and the three-pointer that Anthony Del Orso hit in the game against the other night. Jaden, after he passed him the ball, kind of threw a pick on Fletcher Lawyer and put him on the ground. I was like, you're physical when your point guard is setting picks and putting people on the ground.
Hey, setting the tone, man. Jay Brad has done that all season, man. incredible leader. At every position we're physical though, and it's been a difference maker for us the entire year.
AJ Bramlett is our guest. All right, AJ, take me back to that night 29 years ago. I mean, really, take me back, making the Final Four. What was that feeling like when you guys won the regional to get to that point?
I mean, incredible. No one expected us to do what we were doing in the tournament back in '97. Providence had a shot to beat us in regulation, in the Elite Eight that didn't go in, and we were able to pull that off in overtime. And all of our games were close. So getting that done and be able to go to the Final Four to play North Carolina again was just special. And getting back to Tucson after we had won in the regional, and the response that we had from the fans, and walking into McHale that night was something I'll never forget, man. It was incredible.
Yeah, and it was awesome that this team got to experience that same thing. Huge crowd here when they got home about 1:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. And then obviously you guys get to Indy. And what was obviously much different processes now in terms of the way that the game operates and the media, and I'm sure all that versus 29 years ago. But what do you remember about how you guys handled all of that leading up to that first semifinal game?
Yeah, we were pretty loose, man. We were a loose team in general. So, we were enjoying the experience, but at the same time, staying focused and locked in. There was still a lot of, media requests, and it's different from the regular season. I mean, it's just on a different level on responsibilities and stuff you have to do. But, Coach Wilson and our team was pretty loose. We enjoyed it. Like our shoot-arounds, we pretty much did, a dunk contest and showed out for the fans. And Coach O, said if we don't know what we're doing by now, it's too late. So let's go out and execute what we know how to do. And so he kept us loose, and that's what we needed to be able to go ahead and get those 2 wins in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. You were obviously such a young guy on that team, a sophomore, but that was the first year you had started games. You didn't start any games your freshman year, but finally got into that starting lineup. How were you able to kind of establish yourself and get comfortable in that role of being a starter with that team?
Yeah, I mean, it took a while, right? My freshman year, I was behind, my big brothers, Joseph Blair and Ben Davis, and learned a lot from those guys, got my butt kicked every day, and learned a lot. So I was physically ready, and, but it was just a learning experience. I had a kind of up and down, season, playing well for some times, not playing great other times. But by the time we had gotten to the end of the Pac-10, I was playing pretty well. I was confident, and, that helped me definitely rolling into the NCAA tournament. And we all believed in each other, so we all supported each other. So guys, even if you had a bad game or whatever, we picked each other up, and those guys in that locker room believed that we could make a run, and we had one of the best teams in the country, and I had to do my job for that, which was holding down the rebounding and defense and setting screens for our guys, and then making offensive plays when necessary. But, I just love that group of guys, man. Special.
I don't know if you heard what Tommy said after the game on Saturday, when he said that, because obviously the halftimes are a little bit longer, and after they went over, the coaches went over what they had to go over. He said, I told them, the players, to talk amongst yourselves and figure out how you're going to go out and get this thing done in the second half. Were there moments like that with your teams where Coach Olson would leave and the fellows would just maybe have a few minutes to kind of, get their minds right? And what are those conversations like when the coaches are gone and it's the fellas, trying to figure out how we're going to get this thing won tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the best teams and championship teams are all, pretty much player-led at a certain point, right? They're the ones that hold the standard. They're the ones that, execute what Coach O wanted. And we were like that. We held each other accountable. You didn't want to be the one that made a mistake or didn't rotate or missed a block out or whatever it was, because you're letting your guys down. So we did have those times. Like, our coaches would usually huddle and talk amongst themselves before they came to the huddle with whatever instructions they had for us. And we had a lot of conversations like that where we could yell at each other and we could tell each other, hey, don't miss that again, or you got to talk on that switch or whatever it was. And nobody got mad at each other. Those are what championship teams are about. And, that's how we operated. That helped us, get to the title for sure.
AJ Bramlett joining us, 1997 national champion, forward class of 1999, Arizona basketball. AJ, let me ask you this question. Would AJ Bramlett have taken more threes in today's game?
I would have been playing a wing, probably 2, 3, you know what I mean? Something like that. Because coming out of high school, I was actually recruited to play the 3 at New Mexico. But, I definitely would have been shooting some threes, you know what I mean? A lot more. But, I missed out on that era. But it worked out for me anyway. So
what do you took exactly 2 3? What do you remember about that? Did you remember the 2 3-pointers you took in college?
I don't even remember, man. Those had to be in the shot clock or in the half. There's no way that it was. I guarantee you there was not a play called for that. So.
AJ Bramlett is our guest. You mentioned, obviously, New Mexico. That's where you were from, and you still reside there. You're still living back there now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in Albuquerque, yep. Correct.
What do you have going on right now?
I work for a company called Playfly Sports. It's a big sports marketing company, and I work with our high school state association, the New Mexico Activities Association, doing business development, corporate sponsorships, and stuff like that. And then I got my kids, and my younger son is playing high school basketball right now. He's a junior, and going through all that, and everything's good, man. Life is good, and it's even better now that our Wildcats are back in the Final Four where they belong.
There you go. So when you have, I don't know if you watch much Michigan. What do you see when you look at this Michigan team they're going to face?
I've actually watched a lot of them this year, and they mirror us a lot. They're huge. They got tremendous size at each position. I think our bench is better. I think we bring more off the bench, but it's going to be a war, man. I mean, it's just going to be who can impose their will on the other team, and I trust in our guys to be able to do that. But it's gonna be a war, man. It's going to be something fun to watch.
Indeed, it is. Indeed, will you be there? Are you going?
I'm not sure yet. I'm looking at the options, but either way, I'm going to be there in spirit. If I'm not there in person, I'll tell you that much. I'll be screaming at the TV.
I gotta ask, AJ. Your NBA career was not long, but it was in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. What do you remember about Cleveland?
It was cold and it was windy, and that's about it, man. I'm going to tell you right now.
Cold.
No, but it was good. I was with Sean Kemp. And,
yeah, so I remember Sean
Bobby
Kemp was probably on that team.
Knight. Yeah. Sean Kemp, Brevin Knight, Bobby Sura, Cedric Henderson, those guys. So, yeah, I had some good guys on my squad. But yeah, it was definitely cold and it was windy, bro.
So did you and Ced talk when Ced Jr. was looking to come to U of A few years ago?
Yeah, we actually did. Yeah, Ced's a good dude, man. Like he's always been real good to me, and Ced Jr. had a great year. You know what I mean, at Arizona, and kind of started this path, right, of guys coming in and performing at a high level, and now it's kind of a machine that Tommy's built. So. Let's get 2 more wins and take it to another level even from there.
You mentioned, obviously, that you're working in the high school realm. In this era of NIL, are we seeing some of that start to change, how things are operating in terms around high school basketball as well? What are you seeing in that respect?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's not fully trickled down yet, but it just depends on the state and what what they allow and what their opportunities are. But, at the highest level of high school, yes, absolutely. It's already there. It's still trickling down to like the local level, in certain ways. But I mean, high school is probably 5-10 years, behind what college is at all times. And so, it's just going to be something that keeps on developing, and, we're going to have to, it's the world we live in now. And so you got to make the most of it. And I'm happy that kids are getting opportunities, to maximize on their athletic and academic talent. So I'm all for it.
And you mentioned your son, and I think you also have your daughter graduated from UNM, right? Correct?
Correct. Yep. She's we're actually going to visit her this weekend in Atlanta. She's working for a cheer company out there doing social media and
nice.
and influencer stuff for them. So she's doing great, man.
And your son, does he play at all?
My younger son does. Yeah, I have an older son that's at New Mexico State right now. He's a sophomore, majoring in finance and accounting, so he's doing great. And then my younger son, he just got All-State. He made the All-State team, his first team All-District, 6'4" point guard.
Nice.
So he's on the come up, man. So keep an eye out for him.
And his name is?
Drew Bramlett.
Drew Bramlett. All right, we're going to have to keep our eyes open for sure for Drew Bramlett. Hey, AJ, appreciate you taking some time to join us, sharing your memories of 29 years ago tonight when the Wildcats won their only national championship. And let's hope that this crew we've got this year makes it number 2, and then we can have another plaque up on the wall right next to you and all of your great teammates.
Yes, sir. Let's make it happen, man. Bear down. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. AJ Bramlett, class of 1999, 1997, national champion, Arizona forward. Always great to talk to the guys from that 97. That's 2 in 2 weeks. Miles Simon last week, AJ Bramlett this week. Don't forget, Miles Simon's going to be in town this week at the prayer breakfast for the Gospel Rescue Mission. If you don't have a ticket, it's too late. That event is already sold out. We had Dana Cooper joined us on the show, called into the show yesterday. We talked a little bit about that, but you still can donate to the Gospel Rescue Mission and their Easter Blessings event, which also will take place on Friday right after the conclusion of the Good Friday breakfast.
That's grmtucson.com.
grmtucson.com. Indeed. Thank you, J.W. Madden. Cricket is going to get you home, as she does every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather. When we come back, we're going to talk to the pitching coach for your Arizona Wildcats. Sean Kinney will join us here from High Corbett Field. DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Some slowing for traffic on Speedway between Main Avenue and Stone Avenue, slowing westbound Grant Road at I-10, and busy on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. Collisions reported First Avenue and Prince Road, River Road and Sabino Canyon, in Green Valley, La Cañada, and Esperanza Boulevard.
All right, TK.
Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts, and most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. Member FDIC.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
Your Arizona Wildcats are back in the Final Four.
Change over Del Urso. Springs the 3 right side. Got it! They fight for it. Get up. Burries. Karchikov laying up and good. Braden will shoot a deep 3. Why not? It is good for Braden Burries. We'll see you in Indy on Saturday.
Catch all the action with Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen right here on your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing, a chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundle your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Hey there, pizza and ice cream lovers! Guess what? Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream is now open at the Oro Valley Marketplace. Bring the whole family and dive into a slice, or 3, of pizza heaven while enjoying our creamy ice cream treats. Got a celebration? Check out our private party room. Gamers, don't miss our arcade room, and for the golf enthusiasts, we've got a golf simulator room too. Relax on our gorgeous patio with views of Push Ridge. Sip from our full bar while catching up on the latest games on our 25-plus TVs. Join us for our weekday lunch buffet or Sunday brunch. See you soon at Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream at the Oro Valley Marketplace.
And this Friday, you can get half off Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream. Get a $50 gift certificate for just $25 with our sweet deal. And this sweet deal goes on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Inside with Chris Van Vliet.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet.
Behind-the-scenes conversations with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
How did you know you weren't going to kill Hornswoggle with that move?
I didn't.
That fall with suicide. I don't know how you survived.
Yeah, luck.
And special live coverage of the biggest professional wrestling event of the year.
If you've ever wanted to know where the best place to watch WrestleMania is, right here. I've got a live show there, Insight Live, on the Thursday night.
Pro wrestling at its best.
Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. See you there.
Cactus RV, offering the most affordable pre-owned RVs, travel trailers, and toy haulers in Tucson. We offer consignments on RVs, travel trailers, trucks, cars, and SUVs. Sell without the hassle and let Cactus RV do it for you. Cactus RV is also a local independent service center, so they can help keep your RV, travel trailer, or toy hauler in pristine condition and ready to sell or hit the road for your next adventure. A true one-stop shop. Call now, 888-2244. Visit cactusrv.com or visit us on Romero, just north of Prince.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Arizona took down Purdue on Saturday in the Elite Eight. The Wildcats are heading to the Final Four for the first time since 2001. Tommy Lloyd took over as head coach in 2021. Lloyd has the most wins in his first 5 seasons with the team in college basketball history. Could Tommy Lloyd leave for North Carolina? That'll be the big question this week in Indy at the Final Four. I'm Chris Black.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural, drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona, West Virginia tonight in a non-conference affair out here at High Corbett Field. Windy, cloudy baseball weather here in southern Arizona. Let's talk some pitching. And your Arizona Wildcats, pleased to be joined by the new pitching coach, Sean Kenny, first season here on Chip Hill's staff. And Sean, first of all, welcome to Tucson. It was a very interesting, I guess, offseason from the standpoint that, you got hired kind of late into this situation when John DeRowan decided to take a job in professional baseball. What was attractive to you to wanting to come here to Arizona and work with Chip Hale?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me. Real happy to be in Tucson and not see snow anymore. That was huge.
Right.
But, the tradition, certainly, and the winning. And, I've known Trip Couch for a long time now. Just he was at South Carolina when I was at the University of Georgia. So we had recruiting battles. And that was kind of the bridge. But the simple answer is I just wanted to be part of winning tradition. And coming off the World Series appearance, you always want to be part of something like that.
When you, you mentioned you've been all over. I mean, you were at Iowa last year. You've been in the SEC. You've been in the Big Ten. Now you're in the Big 12. How do you describe maybe some of the differences in the leagues? I mean, obviously it's crazy mayhem in a lot of those ballparks down in the SEC.
Yeah, mayhem's the right word. It seems like it's actually taken a life of its own on as well too. It used to just kind of be baseball, and now it's not. It's I don't know what it is, but you're right. There are a lot of differences. I think the Big 12 is as close to the SEC just as far as the physicality and the home runs and things like that. I think the ACC is sometimes a little more pitching dominant, just because maybe the ballparks, and the Big Ten is somewhere in between. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been unique, but there are certainly differences, and I think that's what keeps me going is just all the different things that the leagues provide.
Right. Sean Kenny is our guest, pitching coach for your Arizona Wildcats. Okay, so what are some of the difficulties of coming into a situation maybe later in the fall than you would like to maybe not have that fall season to work with guys?
Yeah, there really is no playbook. The pro hiring cycle is completely different than the college hiring cycle, and so there's really no precedent. I kind of joke that I'm not exactly a trailblazer. I'm just it's not really my personality. However, it's been interesting, and I give a lot of credit to Coach Hale and a lot of credit to our players, because you have to be open-minded, and they have been great. They've been welcoming, they've been willing. And also the struggles that we've had early provide challenges with that. With the newness. So we got a lot of things going on, but like I said, I really give a lot of credit to our guys, because they're hanging in there and they're willing to listen to my opinions and things like that. So challenging, but certainly fun.
Obviously, when you look at what the situation, the way the season started, losing Tony Pluta right out of the gate. I mean, Tony Pluta is a reliever. Baseball is often about starting pitching is the dominant force. But to have a guy that is such a personality there at the back end, All-American, guy that is very loved within this group, how did that affect this entire staff, losing him right at the outset?
Yeah, a coach that I worked for a long time ago talked about everybody gets hit with lightning bolts. Every team, every sport, and your job is to respond and try to overcome. And then everything you just said, you just can't probably overcome that one. So you just have to do the best you can, because he's the glue guy. He is Arizona baseball, and so that was a tough one. And so you tried to talk to the guys about hanging in there and picking each other up. But deep down, we all know. I mean, we know what we lost. The fun part for me has been he's kind of taken over the bullpen. He's our bullpen coach. Wow. And so he and I communicate all game long, and he has been as good a teammate as you would expect, quite honestly. And so, yeah, it's been tough. And what that does, though, is it provides opportunities for other guys. And just like this past weekend, Garrett Hicks goes 4 1/3 innings, and he's the oldest 22-year-old in college baseball, and he hung in there and he just kept going, and so that's what the positive is getting to see guys kind of maybe excel in roles that maybe they wouldn't have.
How much can you change with guys in such a short time? Is this one of those seasons where, look, we're going to have to – I'm going to just – they've kind of built themselves from the fall. I'm just going to come in. We're just maybe – I don't want to change too much here with what they're doing, and then maybe, we'll see what this season is, and then we reset for a full year, come next year.
Yeah, very much so. That's exactly right. And the good thing is, and it's what I told the guys in the first Zoom, is – it's not like I'm coming into a situation that's unhealthy. Usually coaches come in because there needs to be a change. Right. But, you're talking about 2 pretty good pitching coaches before here, and really 3 with Owen going with the Rockies. So you've got Kevin Vance, who's head coach, and you got John, who's now running the Mets minor league. So I was coming into an extremely healthy situation. So there wasn't a lot of things that needed to be done. So I'm just trying to talk to him about game strategy and things like that, and then maybe give him my thoughts every once in a while on a pitch design, things like that. But the hard work was done, and it was good work. So it's a positive situation. But you're right. There's going to need to be some reset. We understand our standards here and the expectations. It's why we all wanted to be here. So, and this, what's going on is not them. So we do need to reset, but what that means yet, we're still trying to figure out.
Sean Kenny joining us, pitching coach for your Arizona Wildcats, first season here, working with Chip Hale, and has previously worked with Trip Couch as well. I said earlier in the week, I said, obviously we're not where we want to be through 9 games in conference, but you've got the starting pitching that if these guys put it together, you can win a short tournament and still accomplish everything you need to do. So how do you get these 3 guys, because we know what these guys can do, but they just haven't done it yet, Kramkowski and Smith Bailey, and then you've got obviously the new guy there on Sundays as well, and Collins kind of been shifted to the middle of the week. How do you get those guys back to what we saw at the end of last year, and can you?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point. That's kind of what we're working towards is you were playing a bunch of freshmen to get them ready, and we do have the older experienced guys in the rotation. And Smith was really, really good early. He's kind of going through it right now, but that's what our league can do to you. But he's in a good place, and the stuff is actually fantastic. So it's not a stuff thing. And I feel like every time Owen has gone out, he's gotten better and better. I feel like that poor guy's got the worst luck in college baseball. And he gave up 6 hits last start, and 3 of them didn't lead the infield. It's just kind of how it's going for him. But the stuff is trending. He's throwing a bunch of strikes, and you're absolutely right. Luke Flata is our old man on Sundays, and he's been fantastic. And so he's pitched into the 8th twice, and in college baseball now most guys don't even get out of 6. So you're absolutely right. We have the foundation. We just have to put it together, and we just have to be more consistent.
What allows Flata to keep the walks down? 3 walks in 38 innings, I think it is this year.
Yeah, and he's done it. He had a really terrible haircut going on there for a while. And he said he wasn't gonna cut it until he walked a guy, and I've never really rooted for a walk before, so he finally walked the dude and cut it, so it's a lot better. But I think just he's an older guy, and he has been a Friday starter. I think that's why the guys before recruited him, because he was a Friday night starter in the AAC, which is a really good baseball conference. So he's seen it all. He has unwavering belief in himself and his stuff. He doesn't get caught up in results, and man, he's just a grown up. That's kind of he just pitches like a grown up.
We're going to talk with Matthew Martinez today as well. What's been special about what he's been able to do in the bullpen for you guys so far?
I just like his competitiveness, and he's such a team guy, and he's so unique. You don't see a right-hander who can command a changeup to right-handers and left-handers very often, and so. We've leaned on him heavily, probably more than we should at times. But, boy, he's answered the bell more often than he hasn't. And it's just nice to have that constant down in our pen.
Will Colin go tonight, or who's going tonight?
We're going to start Jack LaFlamme, the freshman.
Okay.
And we've got a bunch of guys ready to go, and we'll see how it goes and just try to play the matchups and hit the pockets in the lineup.
Tell us about Jack and where he is early in his career.
You're going to be a great player. I think he's the next guy in line here at Arizona, and has gradually gotten better. It's been incremental. I thought his last start Tuesday was really, really good. Like every freshman ever, consistency needs to get better, but the stuff is premier, and we think he's a front end of the rotation guy moving forward.
When you look at, we had a chance to talk to McLean a few weeks ago. Fun guy, fun personality. He seems like one of those guys that really kind of keeps the clubhouse loose.
Oh, he's unbelievable. Yeah, he only has good days and great days. That's kind of how we talk about him. But he's been a really, and I don't want to say surprise because I think that's selling him short. But I don't know that he was in the mix early to be a leverage reliever, and so he didn't walk a guy for however many games as well. So really, really been happy with him because the one thing that he provides is stuff. We can run out there that's 92, 93 with 2 different breaking balls and coming out of a 6'5" or whatever he is frame. So it just gives us a lot of confidence to bring him in just because he brings a lot of different things to the table.
You look, obviously, you got a non-conference game against a conference opponent tonight, and then ASU comes in here this weekend for the rivalry series. You got a taste of it earlier up in Tempe. Your thoughts on your first U of A ASU dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of people that don't like each other. That's for sure. But it's good. We talked about it. We know what's in front of us this week.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 4 games against ranked opponents, and we just try to make sure that we look at that as opportunity, because that's what it is. It is a chance for us to get back to where we expect us to be, and you might as well do it against good teams. And I think that's Coach Hale's philosophy in scheduling. And you find out about your team when you play good teams like that. So we're excited. We're excited to have ASU here because we had the first installment over there. So we look forward to having big crowds and games that matter.
Who's maybe one of the other maybe young arm that really excites you about what the potential could be?
Yeah, Ben Hickman out of the pen. It's a really unique fastball profile, and there's velocity there, and he's still getting used to understanding that every pitch matters, at this level, and you can't always dig yourself out of a hole like you could in high school, and he's working through that a little bit, but we think he can be a dynamic reliever out of the pen, and ultimately, hopefully, one day be a closer.
When you have the lab here and you come in as a coach, how do you identify and do you quickly say, how do I want to utilize this and work this in to my program?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's already baked into what we do here, but it's back to your original question about timing. Now it's just maintenance.
Yeah.
So we'll go in there a little bit, but not as much as we will in August and September. But it's a big part of why I wanted to come here, because of that resource. And we've got a great support staff with analysts and things like that help us kind of crunch all the numbers. So it's really a fun resource, and our guys feed off of it. And what technology does now, in my opinion, more than anything else, is it just gives your players confidence.
Yeah.
To understand what they need to do and what they do well, so we like going in there for sure. We're just not going to go in there quite as much in the spring.
Sean, welcome to Tucson. Looking forward to the second half of this season, seeing if these Wildcats can get back on track and make something happen come the tournament.
Yeah, you and me both. Appreciate it.
There we go. Sean Kenny, pitching coach for your Arizona Wildcats.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Westbound I-10 slowing approaching and passing Alvernon. Eastbound I-10 slowing. Mild slowing there approaching Park Avenue. Collisions reported First Avenue and Prince Road, River Road and Sabino Canyon, in Green Valley, La Cañada and Esperanza. There is a chance of rain into the evening. 64 the overnight
Nobody
low.
covers your
78
Cats like we
cloudy
do,
tomorrow,
with press conferences,
87
coaches
now.
shows,
I'm
and
Cricket with your
play-by-play.
Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and
We
Weather
bring you
together.
all the
This report is
stories,
sponsored
highlights,
by
and
Lowe's.
analysis of your
Pros, if
Arizona
something runs
Wildcats.
out on the job,
We are
order it on the
Wildcats
Lowe's
Radio
app.
1290.
Pro Rewards members get
Confidence
free same-day
is knowing
delivery
you're
on
ready to
eligible
handle
orders
whatever
over
comes your way.
$25. Order by
That's what it
2 p.m.
feels
and
like
get
to take
eligible
on your
in-stock
workday
items
with
delivered to your
Cintas.
job site
They
by
make
8
sure
p.m.
your
See terms at
AEDs are up to
Lowe's.com
date.
/shipping
Your
terms
fire
subject to change.
extinguishers are tested and
is
inspected.
coming
Your
home.
floor mats are
Firing
cleaned
hot.
and delivered.
Touchdown,
And
Arizona.
your
Braden
workwear
Stoops
looks
picks
good
it off,
and feels
takes
good.
it right away.
Especially
The Cats
laundered
win the
with the
cup.
Cintas
They win
Apparel
their
Plus
9th game of
program.
the season.
So are you
and
ready
they
to
do
take
it
on today?
emphatically.
Visit
We
Cintas.com.
are Wildcats Radio
And
1290.
get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from. To show her.
Wait, only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 321-4100.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Rats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarintucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, finding high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Bar, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarintucson.com.
5 final fours. 9 seconds left. Can you believe it? Yes, you can. We'll see you in Indy on Saturday.
We are your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Top of the morning to you. You don't need the look of the Irish or a little leprechaun to protect your home from rodents, weeds, pests and termites. Let Weedco protect your home from things that don't belong, so you can focus on the ones that do. Call Weedco at 549-1390 or visit weedco.services today.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live here from High Corbett Field. It is baseball night in Arizona. Wildcats back here on the homestead, where they're going to play their next 5 games, a couple of midweek games sandwiched around a series against the rivals from Tempe. Arizona State will be in here this weekend, but first it is a contest against number 13, West Virginia, out of the Big 12, coming in here tonight for what will be a non-conference game. We've seen this a lot the last couple of years, where the teams from the Big 12 will come in and stick around after their weekend series against either Arizona and Arizona State and go play the midweek game, the Tuesday game against the other school in the region. So they'll come and they'll play the 3-game series against Arizona State and then come and play the single game against Arizona, or vice versa. The Wildcats do not play West Virginia this year in conference play. So this will be their only likely meeting against the Mountaineers, unless the two teams face off in the Big 12 tournament later this spring. Right now, West Virginia is in second place. So the Wildcats got swept by UCF last weekend. UCF is leading the Big 12 right now. They are 8-1 in first place. West Virginia is 7-2 in second. Then you've got Kansas at 6-3. There's a logjam of teams at 5-4 that includes Arizona State, TCU, and Utah, along with Baylor. So you've got 4 teams sandwiched at 5-4, 3 games off the pace. Then you've got 4 more teams at 4-5, Cincinnati, Kansas State, Texas Tech, BYU. And then the bottom 3 right now Oklahoma State, Arizona, and Houston. Now, and I'll have to double check this because if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly from last year, not all the teams participate in the Big 12 baseball tournament. I don't think all 16 teams. Well, there's only 15 teams that play baseball because Colorado does not field a team.
Yeah, top
only
12.
12 teams. Yeah, only 12 teams make the conference tournament. So the Wildcats, we were talking about the fact that they could definitely make some noise if they could get in, but they've got some work to do still to have to put themselves in a position to be able to get in to the Big 12 tournament. As right now, I believe, let me just double check this here. I think I was correct when I said 15 teams, and they are obviously in what would amount to 14th place. Darren Sutton, ladies and gentlemen, making his way for the building. Darren Sutton will be on the call tonight. ESPN Plus, always great to see him, former broadcaster in the big leagues and whatnot. Absolutely. Darren, good to see you, man. We'll have you on next week. Absolutely. The Wildcats, right now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Wildcats are in 13th place right now. So 14 teams play baseball in the Big 12. I'm always wondering the other team I'm missing because I know Colorado does not play, and the other team is who? I always try to see this off face value, and I can never remember exactly who the
You want a hint?
Team is. Yes.
They're not happy right now because their team just lost in the NCAA basketball tournament.
Oh, that would be Iowa State. Yes.
Yeah.
Iowa
Cyclones.
State is the other team that does not play baseball. Okay. So Iowa State and Colorado. So the Wildcats right now are one game out of that 12th spot. So, but again, still plenty of season to go, even though they've lost 4 games in a row.
DK, do you know how many losing seasons Arizona baseball's had in the last 26 years?
Losing seasons.
Under 500 record to end the year.
Yeah, they've had some not so great seasons, but I don't remember too many losing. Maybe 1?
2. Yeah, and one of them, bro, was 27 and 28. So they literally just snuck in on that. But yeah, only 2 times since the turn of the century have they had a record under 500 to end the year.
Yeah. So yeah, that's let's see what they've played 27 games to this point. This will be game number 28, and I think they have about what? So they'll play 1, 3, that's 4, 5, 8, 9, 12, 15, 16, 19, 20, 23, 26 games left to go. So again, still plenty of time to get right above that 500 mark. J-Dub, we have some breaking news happening in sports right now.
What's that?
We have the can I get the breaking news?
Didn't you veto the breaking news sounder that we had last time?
Well, I may have, but I don't think we found a new one yet. So if you want, you can play it until I find something better. Let's just put it that way. We can play it till I find something better.
How about this one?
Yeah, there you go. All right, breaking news. Tiger Woods has announced that he is stepping away from golf to seek treatment and focus on his health. He said in a statement today, this announcement comes 4 days after Woods was charged with misdemeanor DUI, property damage. He flipped his Land Rover driving around on Jupiter Island down in Florida. Tiger said in his statement, I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today. I'm stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health. This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being and work towards lasting recovery. I'm committed to taking the time needed to return in a healthier, stronger, more focused place, both personally and professionally. I appreciate your understanding and support and ask for privacy for my family, loved ones, and myself at this time. So there you go. Tiger Woods is stepping away from golf to seek treatment for, I can imagine what we can categorize as an addiction, possibly to pain meds. There was obviously no alcohol that was found in his system as a result of that accident on Friday, but there was pain medication that was involved in that.
I'm sure he'll take some FOMO classes as well, right? Because rumor is he was texting or looking at his phone, DK, when that happened. So, I mean, when was the distracted driving campaign? That was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Right.
You drive, you text, you pay, that whole thing. And I mean, that's the deal. Is like, clearly, this is not the first situation where Tiger, but that other time he was running away from stuff, wasn't he? So, I mean, we've all known the public side of Tiger Woods, substance issues, and it's a good decision for him and his family if that's something that they believe that he needs. Muscle relaxers and alcohol mixing is not a joke, DK. Do not do that.
No. The PGA has also released a statement today. It says, Tiger Woods is a legend of our sport whose impact extends far beyond his achievements on the course. But above all else, Tiger is a person, and our focus is on his health and well-being. Tiger continues to have our full support as he takes this important step. So Tiger Woods releasing a statement. This came out within the last hour that he is stepping away from golf to focus on his health. 520-848-1290 if you have any thing that you want to get in, statements to make on that. Obviously, Tiger in a situation where he needs to absolutely do everything that he can to get right with his health. We are here at High Corbett Field, where we're going to have baseball tonight. The Wildcats and the number 13 ranked West Virginia Mountaineers in a one-off weekday Tuesday midweek series. Wildcats looking to end a 4-game losing streak as they welcome in West Virginia. We're going to see the freshmen on the bump tonight for your Arizona Wildcats. We talked to Sean Kenny about that, and that's going to be Jack LaFlamme. He is 1-1 on the season with a 12.0 earned run average. He'll face David Dagan, who is 2-0 for the West Virginia Mountaineers, a 0.0 earned run average. Again, the game will air on ESPN Plus tonight. We just talked about Darren Sutton, who came through, longtime broadcaster with the Arizona Diamondbacks, will be on the call. All right, coming up, we're going to chat with Matt Muehlbach. He'll join us. We'll talk some more Arizona basketball with him. J-Dub, do we have our friend from traffic with us right now?
We don't, but I can grab her.
Okay, we'll also talk to cricket coming up here very momentarily. Don't forget, baseball is back on the radio this weekend, or at least Thursday and Friday, for the first 2 games of the Arizona State series. That'll be 6 o'clock first pitches Thursday and Friday, and then 7 o'clock. Saturday will be also a night affair. So all 3 of the games in the Arizona State series will be night games, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. With the holiday, the games are moved up a day, and the Sun Devils also will come in here as a ranked team, as they are currently ranked number 25 in the country. Last team in the top 25.
I was just looking at the rankings, DK, and it's like all Pac-12 teams in the top 10. Former. So it's like you got Oregon State's number 7, Trojans are 9, Oregon is number 10, UCLA is number 1. That's four of the top 10 currently. That's the poll that came out yesterday. The college baseball top 25 rankings.
The shocking school you just mentioned there is my alma mater, USC. Apparently has remembered how to play baseball for the first
figured
time
it out
in a long time. Yeah, they're playing extremely well. Extremely well. Every time I look up, I see a text or a tweet that says the Trojans have won, and I'm like, oh man, they're doing a lot of winning this year. So nothing wrong with
I think
that.
Oregon State is cricket's favorite team, though.
Oh, is it cricket?
Oh, of course.
Everybody loves Corvallis.
Yeah, of course.
Third member of our team joins us now. It is cricket. So cricket, we were talking about other stuff yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we did not get to quick crickets. Got quotes. So
okay.
what's in the quote jar today from one.
Oh man,
from
you
one
know,
cricket.
okay, you have to go get one of the biggest jars you possibly can,
Yeah.
and just put thousands of quotes in there
exactly.
before you come in
Yeah,
here. Just
right.
grab one.
We need
Yep.
some visuals for because cricket. You know, we are on. Well, not today because I'm here and you're there. But you know, we need some type of visual. You need to you should come in with a jar every day and just put it on your desk and take something out to make it, even if it's fake, just to make it look like, oh man, she's really taking out and reading something important here.
I actually really like that idea. So I'm going to find it's got to be a cute jar.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'll spend some time on it. Find some good quotes, cut them up all pretty, pop them in a jar. I like that idea
Maybe
a
like
lot.
some pet paw prints on the side of it or something like that.
Something like it's got to be super cute. And if I leave it in here, you guys cannot. Could I leave it in the studio?
I don't know. DK might peek.
I was
and he
going to
might
say
get like a preview.
Oh, I was going to say you can't snoop
I
though.
might start going through your stuff.
With all that extra time you guys have. I know you guys have a lot of extra time on your hands.
Yeah, this time of year, so much time.
It needs a lock. Okay, my jar with the lock. All right, so for today, let's embrace our mistakes. Remember, life is completely imperfect. Dealing with a few failed experiments teaches you persistence and resilience.
I know who that one is. That's Tommy Lloyd.
Sounds like it, huh?
It
Yeah,
sound
literally.
When,
It
she
literally,
started,
yeah.
when she started reading it, I'm like, man, this does sound very coach-like. That does sound like coach speak there.
That came from someone that texts one of our other stations all the time. He calls himself Coach J. So he
J.
says, I don't
There you
know.
go.
He's never answered me when I asked, "What do you coach? What do you do?"
One of the best lessons for young people working with other young people and a common goal to try to get to the end of the season and be as successful as possible is admitting that you were the one who did a bad thing, right? That whole accountability is one of the very few places can you learn accountability as well as you can on an organized team. So
Exactly,
of course
of
a
course.
coach, of course that's a coach's favorite comment.
I like it. I dig
So
it.
someone named Coach J is texting the other stations but not texting us.
I should tell. I'm going to give him your guys' number. He sends some really nice, motivational, things. Sometimes it's on Mondays, and hey, here's your motivation, for Monday. I dig it. He sends some, so I won't give myself credit for that, but that came from Coach J. Yeah.
All right. Well, Coach J's up there coaching up the DJs and
He
traffic
is.
folks. I like that, man.
I dig it. Yep.
All right, we'll have to give Coach J some love for sure. All right, we're going to chat with Matt Muehlbach next, Arizona basketball alum, 1991 guard, and he is straight ahead. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's
Nobody covers your
Wildcats
cats
Radio,
like we
1290
do,
Traffic and
with
weather
press
together.
conferences,
Collisions
coaches
that are
shows,
reported La
and
Cholla,
play-by-play.
south of
It is
Overton,
over.
Palo Verde,
Cats have
and
won it. We
Ojai,
bring you all the
Green
stories,
Valley, La
highlights,
Cunada,
and analysis of
Esperanza.
your Arizona
Also expect
Wildcats.
backups
We are
eastbound side of
Wildcats
I-10
Radio
approaching
1290.
Emperita Road, road work
Confidence
there,
is
and
knowing you're
reduced
ready to
speed
handle
limit.
whatever
There
comes
is
your
a
way.
chance of rain
That's
into
what it
the
feels
evening,
like to take on your
60-40
workday
overnight
with
low.
Cintas.
Our high
They make
tomorrow,
sure
only
your
78
AEDs are up
and
to
partly
date.
cloudy.
Your fire
85
extinguishers are
now.
tested
I'm Cricket
and
with your
inspected.
Wildcats Radio,
Your floor mats
1290
are
traffic
cleaned and
and weather
delivered.
together.
And your workwear looks
This
good,
report is
feels
sponsored
good,
by
and is
Capital
freshly
One.
laundered
What's
with
in
the
your
Cintas
wallet?
Apparel
Capital
Plus
One offers
program.
no fees
So
or
are you ready
minimums
to
on
take on
checking
today?
accounts. And
Visit
most Capital One
Cintas.com.
cafes are open 7 days a week to
Get
assist
ready
you.
for the workday.
Insider here.
What's in your wallet?
Find
Farm
Mom's
supplies.
best gift.
Put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you.
That's Radio 1290.
All right, we're back out here at High Corbett Field getting you set for Arizona baseball. Wildcats and West Virginia tonight. It is, looks like we did get a little bit of rain here about, what was that, maybe about 40 minutes ago. But not much, just a few drizzles, a few drops as this cloud cover kind of goes through, but nothing that's going to stall baseball here tonight. So come on out and support your Wildcats. They need it. They need to get up off this losing trend that they've had going on here. 4 consecutive losses for the Wildcats, coming off a sweep at the hands of the first place UCF Knights. So we got to get this thing back going here tonight. We've got a bunch of people chiming in on the show today. We got our guy Fred Scheib chiming in on the text groove, talking about the endless rumors that Tommy Lloyd might be leaving the University of Arizona. Fred Scheib says Jalen Rose today chimed in on TNT, said Tommy Lloyd's buyout is $11 million. We knew that. He said Rose said UNC is not a better job than Arizona. Recruits don't care if Michael Jordan played at North Carolina. North Carolina needs new facilities. Well, and that's the thing that maybe surprises me. Didn't they just build the Dean Dome? Like, was that not built in this century or at the end of the last century? And they already need a new building in Chapel Hill? And we've been playing in the same building since the early 1970s? And North Carolina's now, they're trying to build another building? Or is it like just the practice facility is what needs to be upgraded?
So 86.
The Dean Dome has been around since 86?
Yes, opened in January of 86.
Oh my gosh. See, I would not have thought it was that old. That's when I graduated from high school. I thought it came significantly after that. Okay, so it's 40 years old. So, yeah, I guess you might need a new building at 40 years if you're North Carolina. That's interesting. Anyway, Jalen goes on to say, NIL money isn't better at North Carolina. Rose didn't mention that firing your coach with great record who took you to a title game a couple years ago and whose season failed because his huge star got hurt would scare off any coach. Recruits aren't impressed by UNC. That comes from our friend Fred Scheib back in New Jersey. Appreciate Fred, as always, for listening to the program. Tommy Lloyd did talk about this a little bit today. I don't know, J-Dub, can we go to that here, or do we need to wait another segment?
It depends what you want to go to.
Let's go to Tommy Lloyd addressing the continued rumors about...
I don't have that. No, I have the one you're talking about the coaches, though.
Oh, about the okay. So I asked. Well, let's go to that one first. I asked Tommy Lloyd. He's had an opportunity, and it's interesting because again, this college basketball to me has always been, and granted, the players play the game and they're the ones stars on the floor, but it's always been a game about legendary coaches. I mean, we can go all the way back, and I asked, and you'll hear in the question, all the way back to even before John Wooden, there were tremendously high-profile coaches in the game. Who was the guy? Adolph Rupp is the name I'm thinking of, the legendary coach at the University of Kentucky, going all the way back to before that. But big coaches have always been what this game is about. And Tommy has had a chance to coach against many of the current legends of the industry. I asked him about that in today's press conference. Last week you said the game is about the players, but for a lot of us that have watched this sport forever, it's the coaches are a big deal. I mean, John Wooden, John Thompson, Lute Olson, Bobby Knight. And, you've had a chance to go up against legendary coaches like John Calipari, like Bill Self. What does that mean for you when you get a chance to face a coach like that and coach against the best in the game?
Well, it's humbling, to know that, that young kid was religiously watching those games on TV and reading everything he could about those coaches, gets to compete against them. But I've been at it for a few years now, so now you have a lot of relationships with them, and I talked to Coach Self after, he called me, after the regular season and everything, and, true gentleman, just wanted to congratulate me and thought we did a great job and really liked our team, and he said, hey, I hope we get to play you this weekend in Kansas City. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be great. and what he said was true. He said, no. Not that I want to beat you. I just want to play against the best. And I thought, that's pretty powerful. And that's for me. I love playing against those teams because you get a chance to play against the best. How many times in your life do you get to go out there and compete against somebody else who's great at what they do? And so it's an awesome challenge and it's an awesome honor.
So that was Tommy Lloyd about coaching against some of the game's stalwarts, and obviously he's actually going to be facing a contemporary in the first semifinal game when he goes up against Dustin May, who's only been the head coach at Michigan. This is his second season, I believe, because we faced them 2 years ago when he was still the head coach at Florida Atlantic, and there's rumors that he might be the guy that ends up down at North Carolina. So you've got the two guys that are going to be facing each other. It might be the one that loses, gets the call first, and takes the job at North Carolina. Who knows what might happen? But Dustin May is certainly a hot commodity, as well as Tommy Lloyd on this coaching circuit right now, and incredible what he's been able to do, taking Florida Atlantic to the Final Four and now taking Michigan to the Final Four. Dustin May's done an incredible job in the stops that he's been as a head coach. It's becoming a young man's game, which is interesting. It is. I mean, going just back to what we were talking about there in the initial part of that question about the legendary coaches, but I mean, we're seeing these young coaches now. Todd Golden, being one of those guys who took Florida. Todd Golden is not 40 yet, if I'm not mistaken. He's in his 30s. You've got John Lucas's son, Jay Lucas, who got the job at Miami, one of the youngest coaches ever to get the job. He's only in his 30s. So it is definitely becoming a young man's game, a young coach's game in Division I college basketball, and we've seen that for sure. I mean, Dan Hurley might be the old man at this point. That when you look at that, and Brad Underwood, I can't imagine he's probably not much past 50 either. When you talk about the four coaches that we're going to see this weekend in the Final Four, so it's interesting from that standpoint. J-Dub definitely becoming a young man's field.
The way I look at the other side, the flip side of that, right? Like we've seen the same 6-8 names for the last 40 years. I mean, other than Coach Dan Hurley, who's kind of gone crazy the last 4 years. This will be his third Final Four in 4 years with the 2 national championships. It was the the standard Krzyzewski et al. Of since the 1980s and 90s, and it's hard to kind of break into that fraternity. But the game changes, NILs change, and what we've seen, DK, is a lot of the coaches not necessarily want to coach in a world where the players are paid. So you've seen some coaches decide they're going to, like Randy Bennett from Virginia, right? Like some coaches decide that this isn't necessarily a landscape that they'd like to be a part of, but that just opens up new opportunities for some really bright young minds who've had a lot of great ideas and just haven't gotten their shot. So I love the idea of the changing of the guard. We're seeing it kind of in the NBA right now too. There's a lot of guys in their late 30s, early 40s who aren't going to be around forever. We all know their names. It leaves room for other guys to kind of make their mark. So, Coach May, Coach Lloyd, there's a lot of guys out there who are right now, jockeying to be in that next group of great coaches. And this is what it takes. It takes making deep runs in the NCAA tournament, sustained success, and, doing it the right way, having a system, having a culture that players buy into year after year after year after year. That's how you get your name on one of those lists of all-time greats.
So Dusty May is 51. Tommy Lloyd is 51. You've got Dan Hurley is 53, and Brad Underwood is actually above 60. He's the elder statesman in this deal. He's 62, so he is a little bit older than the rest. 520-848-1290, the number to get in on the program. If you want to get in on Arizona basketball chatter, if you're coming out to the baseball game tonight, love to hear from you. If you've been out to some of these games, what have you seen? What have you liked? What have you not liked about this version of the Arizona Wildcats, who are 9 games under 500, 5 in conference play, playing a non-conference game against a Big 12 opponent tonight here against West Virginia. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. Still, we've got our Westwood One top play, and I think they are talking Arizona basketball again. That's what they were talking yesterday. I think they're talking Arizona basketball again. So we'll see what the selection is tonight.
It's like a 1-week break from NFL draft talk.
There you go. Maybe on the betting side, but not on the show side. I heard more talk about Deshaun Watson today than I think I thought I was back in Cleveland.
I heard a funny bit, this morning at like 10 a.m. I was listening, and they were breaking down, the second-round quarterbacks, who aren't going to go at the top of the leaderboard. And then they wrapped it up. They talked for 5 minutes. They're like, Arizona, Michigan this weekend. We'll get some more NFL talk in 10 minutes. So I just had to laugh.
There you go. All right, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Westbound I-10 near Alvernon. Crash reported westbound side of I-10 near Alvernon and some slowing. Other collisions, Tucson Boulevard south of Grant, Palo Verde and Ahaway, and clearing La Cholla south of Overton.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Never wait to see your family
Confidence
doctor
is
again.
knowing
At
you're
My
ready
Doctor
to
Now,
handle
you don't
whatever
need to
comes
take
your
time
way.
off work, or even
That's what it
schedule
feels
ahead.
like to
Open
take on
7
your
days a
workday
week.
with
It's Your Family
Cintas.
Doctor.
They make
Available
sure your
same day,
AEDs are
every
up to
day.
date.
Guaranteed.
Your fire
Go to My
extinguishers are
Doctor
tested
Now, your
and
same-day
inspected.
family doctor.
Your floor mats are cleaned and delivered. And your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry!
TucsonTech.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We are live out here at High Corbett Field, getting you set for Arizona baseball. Baseball night in Arizona. Wildcats and West Virginia tonight here at High Corbett Field, High C. First pitch coming up at 6 o'clock, so join us out here to cheer on the Wildcats. U of A home for 5. They'll play the midweek game against West Virginia, then ASU for the weekend, followed by a one-game midweek series next week against New Mexico State before they head back out onto the road next weekend to play at TCU. 520-848-1290 again is the number to get in on the program. Wildcats again are coming off a series loss at UCF. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They lost the final game of the series at Texas Tech. They are 2-7 currently in the Big 12 Conference. Obviously, though, this is not a conference game tonight, a midweek non-conference game, although they are going to play the team from their conference, West Virginia. Jack LaFlamme going to be on the bump today. He's coming off his first collegiate victory last week against GCU. He allowed 4 hits, 2 runs in the win last week here for the Wildcats. Tony Lira continues to have a solid offensive campaign for the Wildcats. He leads the team in hits. He has 40. He's hitting .364 on the season, slugging .564, and has 12 extra base hits. And Andrew Kane, who got off to a really slow start, lefty hitting first baseman out of Ironwood Ridge High School, is really starting to turn his season around over the last 7 games. Andrew Kane, 8 for 23. That's a .357 average. Starting to draw more walks. He has 5 walks, 2 doubles, a triple, and has also homered. Jackson Forbes currently tied for the team lead in runs batted in. He has 19, despite the fact he has played in just 16 of the Wildcats' 27 games so far. He shares that mantle with Maddox Mikalakis. Mikalakis still leading the team in runs batted in, despite the fact that Maddox is hitting just .202 on the season. Wildcats still got to get those numbers up in terms of batting. Nate Nowitzki leading the way behind Tony Lira. He's hitting .349. Delira's .364. But a lot of guys under .250. Matias Moran hitting just .136 on the season. TJ Adams hitting under .100 so far in limited plate appearances on the season. Carson McIntyre hitting under .200, although he is tied for the team lead in home runs with 5. He's hitting just .198. So Arizona's offense has been up and down so far this season. That has got to improve for sure as they begin to move forward. All right, we're talking about Tommy Lloyd. He had his press conference today here. Last chance for us as the local media to get a chance to speak with him before the team heads out. Speaking of the team heading out, there is going to be a send-off tomorrow morning.
For one.
So the Wildcats, if you want to come out, it's at 9:45 in the morning, a send-off for your Arizona Wildcats to the Final Four. So I'll have a little bit more information on that coming up for you a little bit later. I'll give you some more information on how you can partake in the send-off tomorrow. But 9:45 outside of McHale Center is the time for that event tomorrow. One of the things we talked about on the show yesterday in terms of Motias Krivas, the big man for Arizona, is the fact that his assist numbers have skyrocketed in the NCAA tournament. He has 9 assists in 4 games, does Motias Krivas. That's almost 2 assists per game, 2 plus assists per game.
Did you figure out why?
Well, I asked the head coach.
No, I meant, did you and Dragabo, when you were discussing this yesterday, come to your own conclusion as to why?
Well, Dragon Ball had a good explanation. I don't recall exactly what it was he said.
Well, the first, second, and third rounds, you're playing teams that don't have 7'2", 260-pound guys. So you're going to see a lot of doubles. You got to send multiple people, and Mo Krivas has always been a very good passer. So I think the numbers going up from the assist, especially first, second round. Think of those teams. Think of the rosters that Arizona played in those first few rounds. They have to send multiple bodies at a big man who posts himself up on the block and has soft toucher from both shoulders. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to see a good passing big and good cutters on the team cutting around those double teams from players on the block. So, personally, I'm not surprised to see Mo's numbers go up. It's just the opportunities to do that and players finishing off those shots if it's a shot in the corner or a driving layup.
Yeah, and a lot of those, Koapita has been the benefactor of a lot of those assists around the rim. In fact, if we went back and looked at those 9 assists, I know for a fact he's been the benefactor of at least 4 of those 9, and that number might actually be a lot higher if you looked at those. But 9 assists over the last 4 games for Motiejus Krivas compared to 10 in his previous 14 games leading into the NCAA tournament. Let's find out what Tommy has to say about that. Motiejus Krivas has 9 assists in the NCAA tournament. He had 10 in the previous 14 games to that. What do you think's led to that uptick for him?
Yeah, I have to go watch, but Mo has been making real progress. Offensively in the sense that, I think he's going to, eventually develop into a dominant offensive player. But right now, what I really like is his ability we can play through him a little bit, because it just adds a different element to your offense. If you can pop the ball inside, and if they play him one-on-one, he can get to a power move or a jump hook. If they bring a second defender, we can kick it out and create rotations and play out of that, So it gives you a nice added element to your offense, and to see him do that has been great.
There you go. And it's interesting just from that standpoint. When he says, J-Dub, that he can become a dominant offensive player, what do you think that means exactly? Where can Motiejus take his game in the years to come?
Well, several things he can work on. I think the touch has always been there. I think the strength has come. So he was much stronger than he was as a freshman. But the biggest next step for Mo, in my opinion, DK, is quick decision-making against doubles, because sometimes he holds the ball a little bit too long or tries to split. If he just spins the other way and goes over the other shoulder, or because he's 7'2" and reads the defense quickly, that's why these assists have been so impressive in the NCAA tournament. Because previously in the year, if you go back and watch film from 2-3 months ago, you might not have seen quite a quick of reads. When he feels the extra defensive pressure coming, that touch pass, right, was made before the defense got there. But the defense's momentum was already coming towards him to double, touch pass real quick to Koa for the layup. Those kind of decisions, the quick decision-making, makes it almost impossible, because you can't send what are you going to do, send a 6-foot guard? Right? Like, he's going to see right over the top. So you have to send somebody with a bit of size just to affect him with that double team. And who are they leaving? They're leaving the small forward. They're leaving the power forward. So those guys cutting around him, and Mo's ability just to read the defense and where those doubles are coming from. So more than anything, it's just footwork, quick decision-making, and understanding how the defenses are playing him on each possession. And, yeah, definitely has the ability to be a dominant, block post scorer, and then obviously maybe touch out to 15, 20 feet. We see the push shot, but you don't necessarily see him outside of those 3-point shots, DK, take a lot of those shots. If he's a catch and shoot, automatic knockdown 15-footer, like, what are you going to do? And I think that's what Coach means.
All right, let's give you our Westwood One top play of the day, and it is about your Arizona Wildcats.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the Bullets with Westwood One Sports. Arizona, Michigan has the makings of a Final Four classic. Both teams are remarkably efficient on either end. Both feature future NBA stars. Both have mammoth front courts. And a tight one, the Wildcats, #1 overall on Bartoric the last month, have the slightest of edges. I'm signing with the best starting 5 in the game. Give me Tommy Lloyd's boys on the money line at +100. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so that's the second member of the Westwood One Sports family in a row that likes Arizona straight up in this game on Saturday against Michigan. Arizona on the money line because Michigan is the favorite, so you're getting plus money right now if you bet on your Arizona Wildcats at plus 100. That's still where it stands on the money line. That's $12.90 to win $12.90 right there. So plus money if you want to take your Wildcats right now on the money line over Michigan. That number could change, so you might want to jump on it. Last night, I think, let's see, I think we lost last night on our BetMGM Network top play. We had the Thunder last night. No, I'm sorry, I think we won. We had the Thunder last night in the first half, minus 7.5 over the Pistons. So the Thunder needed to be winning that game by 8 points at the break last night. And the score was 53-43. So the Thunder had a 10-point lead, so we won again last night on that one right there. The Pistons were missing a lot of guys. They were missing Jalen Duran, Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, and, of course, Cade Cunningham continues to be out, so that was a positive play right there. The other NBA play we have tonight involves my Cavaliers, who are playing the Lakers tonight. That'll be a 7:30 tip-off out in Los Angeles. The play there, according to Westwood One, is to take the over at 234.5. Take the over tonight on the Cavaliers and the Lakers. So I think we'll do that. We'll take the over on the Cavs and the Lake Show.
You hear what D-Book did last night?
36 points.
Right, but that's not the story. It's the most points scored in the NBA this season by a player who did not attempt a free throw.
Wow.
Because we're talking about
shots from the field.
Well, we're talking about, you just mentioned the Thunder, and like that's been the big topic of conversation is foul merchanting and who's flailing their arms to get as many free throws. Well, that's the way, that's what they call it. Who's flailing their arms to get the most attention from the referees, and D-Book with the ethical 36 points last night with 0 free throws.
131-105 was the final. Suns get another win on the road over the Grizzlies. D-Book 16 of 24 and 4 of 6 from 3 in that game to finish with 36 points and 5 assists. Suns, I believe, are back in action right now. In fact, they're playing on the road back-to-back in Orlando.
They're down 11 currently in the midway through the second quarter.
Losing by a score of 44-33. There's not really much they can do at this point to change their trajectory. I mean, they're pretty much locked into that 7th spot of the play-in round.
We talked about that 2 weeks ago. Yeah. None of the teams that are below them want to win games, right? So, pretty much it's going to be the most anticlimactic end to an NBA season ever, because what you're seeing with the play-in teams is pretty much as it's going to be when the season ends.
Well, if you look at the Western Conference playoffs, I mean, the top 9 teams are all on win streaks, and the bottom 6 are all on losing streaks.
Yeah, I mean, Golden State and Portland are currently, in the 9 and 10 spots. Yeah. They are 12 games ahead of Memphis, who's in the next spot under them. So that's already wrapped up. Western Conference, it's just about jockeying for what position and what seed the teams are going to be in. And the same as the East. I mean, they're all eliminated. All of the teams below the Charlotte Hornets are already eliminated. So there is, the playoffs are set right now. It's just a matter of what seeds are going to be.
Exactly. Yeah. The only 2 teams that are, like you mentioned, that are confirmed are, there's 4 teams confirmed in the West: Oklahoma City and San Antonio in terms of their positioning. They're in for sure, and then Portland and Golden State are in that play-in round, like you mentioned, for sure, because they have such a wide advantage over Memphis and New Orleans, who are under the 10 line there. So everybody else, like you mentioned, positioning at this point, but the Suns probably not going to be changing much. They're 3.5 behind the Rockets to try to get out of the play-in round. And that, again, they've won 2 in a row, and the Rockets have won 2 in a row, so it's been hard to gain any ground there. All right, DK on the Sports Tip. Much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to chat with Matthew Martinez, one of the relievers for your Arizona Wildcats, as we get you set for U of A baseball out here tonight against West Virginia. And we'll give you a little bit more. We'll let you hear what Tommy Lloyd had to say when, again, the question was raised about the potential of him leaving to go to North Carolina. We'll hear what he had to say today at his press conference. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions that are reported, Alvernon and Irvington reported as a hit and run. Tucson Boulevard near Grant on Tucson Boulevard to the south of Grant. I-10 and Alvernon crash reported westbound. I-10 near Alvernon and some slowing. Chance of rain into the evening. 64 will be our overnight low. 78 our high tomorrow and partly cloudy, and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is baseball night in Arizona. Wildcats home against West Virginia. 6:05. First pitch out here at High Corbett Field. First of 5 at home for your Wildcats. 3 of those will be against the rival Sun Devils coming up. The Wildcats, if you weren't with us yesterday, hold a 10.5 to 6.5 lead in the Territorial Cup Series. First one to 12. There are 22 sports now that are contended for the Territorial Cup. So you need to get to 12 wins to win the Cup. And the Wildcats need just 1.5 more points. So if they could sweep this series coming up this weekend with the Sun Devils, they might have a shot to secure another point. Now, there's always the possibility the two teams could meet again in the Big 12 tournament, and it could end in a tie. That's certainly a split of the point, but Arizona looking good to win another Territorial Cup Series championship this year over their rivals from the north. 520-848-1290. You coming down here to the ballpark tonight? Want to know what you've seen? I've not had a chance, obviously, to watch a lot of the Arizona baseball games. I've seen a few innings of several of the Friday night games. When we've been out here, I'll probably hang out and watch a little bit of tonight's game as well. I've not seen any of the midweek games, so I've not seen any of those pitchers that have had a chance. Colin McKinney has gotten a number of those starts. Jack LaFlamme now I think is making his second midweek start of the season, and so generally, like you heard from pitching coach Sean Kenny, the guys that get the ball on Tuesday are often guys that they have a lot of respect for and that are coming up. The 4 innings that Jack LaFlamme went last Tuesday were the most he's pitched in a game this season. He has only started 2 games. He started a midweek game earlier in the year against Omaha and went 2 1/3 innings, 3 walks to 4 strikeouts. His lines so far this season in 4 games, of which he started 2, 8 innings, 13 hits, 10 runs all earned, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, and opponents are batting .371 against Jack LaFlamme. So still a lot of room to grow for this freshman out of Brophy Prep up in Scottsdale. 68th overall prospect, 17th right-handed pitcher coming out of high school last season. So a pretty good get for sure. I do not believe he was drafted, Jack LaFlamme. So he is here at Arizona and 6'6", good frame, 6'6", 192 pounds. Fastball rides between 93 and 97.
John's on one.
So looking forward to seeing Jack LaFlamme and what he's got out here tonight. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Let's hear from John. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man, happy Final Four week.
Happy Final Four week to you, John.
So when you guys were asking about Krivas and you were talking about his next evolution as a player, you know, he's taken a huge step forward this year on defense. Being able to rotate, and he truly has been a rim protector. And that was his evolution on defense. However, on offense, when you watch him play, he still tries to go around guys. And if his next step is to develop just a nasty streak and go through guys. If he's 7'2", 260, he can take 2 power dribbles and just dunk over those guys. And that's, you know, for me, he's still passive. He's still looking to go to a spin move, go to a hook, instead of, you know, even going up and under a guy and hitting underneath his arms. Like, he can be more physical around the rim like he is on defense.
Yeah, that's what I've always thought, that the quickness of his decision-making when he gets on that block, the times that he holds the ball and allows those 2 defenders to sandwich him, either a quick move through or, as you said, right over the top, it's tough because you talk about a guy who's trying to make all the right reads and passing out of those double teams because, you know, John, he's seen doubles for, 2/3 of the season every time he touches the ball down there. But those quick decisions making quick, because he's got such great touch around the rim. It's not a matter of can he make it from any angle. It's a matter of how he wants to attack that rim. And obviously, if he can split and go up strong, especially with smaller defenders, I couldn't agree more as far as like finishing strong with two hands. That's probably the next biggest step in his offensive advancement.
And we're completely nitpicking right now. I mean, honestly, when we're talking about things that he can improve on, but as much improvement as he's made this year defensively, like, you know, he was probably a half step, you know, maybe a little bit slow, a quarter step slow, you know, maybe a year and a half ago, being able to rotate. He still did a good job. But I think that would be the next thing to develop a little more of an Awaka move, a little more of a Cam Boozer move, where it's just like two hard dribbles and just try to stop it. You know, but, man, no matter what happens from here, this has been, I have to say, probably the best U of A basketball season in the history. I mean, everything backs up that comment, but it's been a beautiful season to watch.
John, hey, appreciate your call. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, John. And we weren't, I don't think we were necessarily nitpicking his offensive performance. It's basically just what Tommy had said, that he feels like he can be a dynamic offensive player. Coach said that today in his press conference, and we were just identifying what maybe those next steps were going to be.
I think John just meant like. I just think John meant that Will Krivas has played amazing this year. So knocking, you know, his play is kind of nitpicking just because of, you know, obviously the question was about dominant offense. And the real conversation, as John mentioned, is the defensive side of things. I mean, he wouldn't have been first team conference all defense and obviously been in the conversation for National Defensive Player of the Year had he not improved his ability to come over and block shots, you know, out of his area. And the two-handing, high-pointing rebounds, DK. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. That's a huge part, especially defensive rebounds. We talk about offensive rebounds and how impactful he was in the last few games in that area. But high-pointing defensive rebounds amongst the trees, when you're talking about playing the Iowa States and Houstons of the world, are so valuable. And that's just a huge part. But you can't move him. You can't shoot over the top of him. A lot of offensive players just kind of turn and go the other way when he's in the area. So, yeah, there's no doubt his defense is the biggest improvement since he stepped on campus. But to be that go-to dominant, you know, on-block shooter or on-block scorer, he can be that right now. DK, here's the thing. This team is set up to have 5 threats on the court at all times, right? Imagine Moteas Krivas on a team that didn't have 5 threats on the court at all times, where he was taking 20 to 30 field goal attempts a game. Of course, he'd be averaging 25 and 10. That's not really a question. It's just that he right now is just being really unselfish, and when he feels that extra defensive pressure, he's not forcing anything. I agree with John. I think he could go a little bit early sometimes on those catches, but his decision-making as far as not getting bottled up. We saw that earlier in the season, but now those 9 assists in the NCAA tournament, DK, to me just speaks to his quicker decision-making once he sees extra defensive pressure.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, getting rid of the ball, the touch assist that he had to Koa in the game against Utah State, just being able to read what's happening out there at the offensive end is a large part of that as well. All right, Tommy Lloyd, we mentioned, spoke today, and, of course, he was asked about the ongoing rumors and that swirl around him, potentially there being an interest from the University of North Carolina in Tommy Lloyd. Doug Gottlieb came out on a podcast, I believe, with Colin Cowherd, and he was the one that said that Michael Jordan had made a call to Tommy Lloyd or was going to make a call to Tommy Lloyd. Here's what Tommy Lloyd had to say when asked again today if where he is and if anything has changed from what he said on the dais. I believe was that this past weekend or was that the weekend before? I think it was this past weekend that he spoke about the rumors of him potentially leaving to North Carolina.
Last one, Bruce, you got one more.
Tommy, I was just wondering, somebody asked me, and I'm sure, when you made that comment in San Jose about there's going to be a great coach after me, I know you've made similar comments like that before about the program history, but some people were taking that to think, well, maybe he's going to go. So what do you make of that, and has anything changed, being as there still is talk out there?
It's absolutely true. There's going to be another coach. This is a great program. I didn't say when. You know, I mean, and people are going to speculate all they want. Guys, this team has my full focus. Nothing, I promise you nothing is knocking me off that path. And you guys might call them distractions because you're distracted. That doesn't mean I'm distracted or we're distracted. You know what's pretty cool? Once you get some experience in this deal and you're a player or you're a coach who's been at it a while, you get pretty good at, you know, eliminating the distractions. So I think I'm pretty good at that. And I just can't wait to get to practice today. I'm going to go meet with the staff right now. We're probably a little bit late. That's why Nate's pushing me to get up there. And I'm going to go try to have a good practice.
Since you answered that question, or when Seth asked you the question last week. You know,
full focus right now.
Full focus. Eyes straight ahead. Eyes on the prize. And that's bringing a national championship back to the University of Arizona. Now, he did mention the and Bruce Pascoe, the fabulous beat writer for the Arizona Daily Star, asked him about a comment that he had made after the game on Saturday. And I did not remember because I was kind of there and we were kind of in the midst of everything on Saturday out on location, and hearing him did say that. So he said that, and I don't know if we carried the entire press conference, so I may have missed that particular quote there. But apparently Tommy Lloyd did say something around the nature that there would be another coach at the University of Arizona someday or at some point. And, of course, as we are prone to do in this day and age, people ran with that as a sign that, maybe he's going to be leaving if he's indicating there's going to be another coach at the University of Arizona. Of course there's going to be another coach at the University of Arizona because Tommy Lloyd won't be the coach here for a long time. But like he said, he didn't indicate when. So it's so funny how people take these things that these coaches
it's really
say
simple.
And run with it.
Okay, it's really simple, DK. A lot of people that you're hearing are people who got cheated on in relationships or fired by their bosses, and they've got shell shock from that kind of thing, right? From Tommy Lloyd's perspective and his agent and everybody else, what good is it for him to give up any leverage? Like, he's not going to come out at any point in this week and say, I'm not going. Because that completely changes the conversation. He doesn't have anything to talk about in Desiree Reed-Francois' office about getting his assistant coaches a bump in pay or whatever that might be. So a lot of the people who are like, sky's falling and the world is ending because Coach Lloyd is leaving, that's the way they think right now. I'm going to guess, DK, are people who have had some kind of situation like that in their own personal lives. Now, we don't know what Coach Lloyd's going to do. That's up to him. That's up to his family. And you have to live with whatever decision. And listen to the man talk. You think he doesn't love Tucson? Right? I don't think, I don't know Coach Lloyd personally, but I don't know that he's the kind of guy. He doesn't come off as the kind of guy to me, DK, who's swayed by a call from Michael Jordan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that he's a small town guy. Like he doesn't have that, he doesn't get overwhelmed with fame and all those things. So, but here, at the end of the day, here's my 2 cents. You ready? He's going to make his own choice, and that's his choice.
Right.
And I would love to see Coach Lloyd be here for 30 years. No, I would love nothing more to see Coach Lloyd be here for as long as he coaches in college basketball. And at the end of the day, whatever decision is made, stay, go, or otherwise, I said last week, Lute Olson turned down Kentucky twice. And people did not come calling after that. Because why? Because the message is Tucson is good enough for me. This is where I want to be. And that message, when it's a top 5 job, which North Carolina is a blue blood school, when it's one of those kind of jobs, DK, while you don't work a little bit of leverage on your side in your negotiations, like that's just bad business. So that's what I'm hearing from the coach. I'm not hearing, waffling. I'm just hearing him leave the door open so that when they can have conversations with the athletic department here at the U of A about his coaches and about travel arrangements and all those other things. But if he decides to leave, that's his choice.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's talk some more baseball when we come back. Matthew Martinez, who grew up here in the state of Arizona, dreaming of being a Wildcat, going to join us next. DK on the Sports Tip, Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions, Silverbell, and Coachline, Coachline Boulevard and Silverbell, Midtown, Columbus, and Speedway.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches show, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas.
This report
They
is
make sure your
sponsored by Taco
AEDs are
Bell.
up to date,
New
your
crispy
fire
chicken
extinguishers
crunch
are
wrap sliders
tested
at
and
Taco Bell.
inspected,
With
your
all
floor
white
mats
meat
are
nuggets
cleaned and
your
delivered,
choice of creamy
and your
chipotle or
workwear
jalapeno
looks
honey
good,
mustard
feels
inside.
good,
One's
and
a
is
snack,
freshly laundered
more's
with
a
the
meal.
Cintas Apparel Plus
Participating US
program.
Taco Bell locations
So are
for
you
a
ready
limited
to take
time
on
while supplies
today?
last.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine.
These can be applied to most every area of your life, but it's especially true for you and your money. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and many years ago when I was a young man in the Marine Corps, I learned about the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Now, you can't control what's happening with the stock market, but you can control
And play-by-play.
season.
The thing about sports is you've never arrived. We kind of went from one extreme to the other extreme. And I think we've learned a lot about how to manage our emotions, how to manage outcomes and expectations, going from the really high to really low.
Tennessee is back in action Thursday to start a 3-game home series with South Carolina. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Arizona baseball taking on West Virginia here tonight at High Corbett Field. First pitch coming up at 6 o'clock. Wildcats back home tonight and then this weekend against Arizona State. Let's talk to one of the guys out of the bullpen right now. Matthew Martinez joins us, senior right-hander out of Mountain Ridge High School up in Phoenix, South Mountain Community College, now in his second season, correct, here at the U of A, Matthew Martinez?
This will be my third, actually.
Third season here. Yep. Wow. This is it for you then.
Yep.
What's it been like being a Wildcat over the course of these last 3 seasons for you?
Oh man, it's been a dream come true. I've been a Wildcat since I've been born, man. Since I've been walking. Been a Wildcat my whole life.
Okay, so what's your backstory? Family, Arizona family, or what was the backstory?
Yeah, so both my parents actually went to school here. They met here.
Wow.
My dad played baseball here, and then my mom was on Palm Line. So they
wow,
met here.
Jeez.
Yeah, so been a Wildcat always, man, always.
So did you come to games? Did Dad bring you down for games when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, we used to go to the old field on campus.
Man, you're back at Sansa Stadium days.
Yeah, and then we used to come here as well. But yeah, it was always watching games as well.
So when you're coming up here at Mountain Ridge, you go the JC route. And then how did that work? Did U of A called you? Did you just say, hey, were you sending tapes down here and saying, I want to come play for you guys? How did your recruiting process work so you ended up getting here?
Yeah, it was actually kind of a crazy story. Our recruiting coordinator, Trip Couch, was called by his buddy, who was the old head coach at UT Arlington.
Okay.
And he told him to, if he could go watch me throw for him. And so he went there and he watched me throw, and I did pretty good that game. So he called up his buddy and was like, "Hey, by the way, I think we're gonna want to take him actually." So that was the way I got here.
Nice. That is awesome. Obviously, you've been on some teams that have had some pretty nice success. First year here, you guys win the Pac-12 championship. Last year, obviously, you guys go to the College World Series. What have those experiences been like for you to, as a kid who grew up living those dreams, to come and play here and then to be on championship teams here in Tucson?
Oh, it was amazing, man. It was a dream come true. Like I said before, great teams, great players, great guys. On and off the field, and it was awesome being a part of teams like that for sure.
Take me back then to last year, and you guys are you're down a game in Chapel Hill. What was that like because you guys got kind of mollywalked the first game? What was that like to kind of reset to be able to come back and win that series and get to Omaha?
Yeah, we got whooped around pretty well that first game. We got our teeth kicked in for sure, but we bounced back the next day and we got to the field. The energy was the same like it was all year. We got in that circle that we always do before the game, got in that team huddle, and, every guy was just like, hey, we got nothing to lose, fellas. We're 0-1 right now. let's just play our baseball. That's what we did, and then we won that first game. Then the next day we're like, all right, we got this. So
now last year in the circle there was it like a little train thing you guys had type of it was some type of little trinket every game or something, different trinkets, like what who started that, and has that continued into this year?
Yeah, we actually haven't done it this year.
Okay.
I better remind
maybe
the guys.
We need to bring that back.
Get that rolling again.
that might get the train turned around here.
For sure. But it was T.J. Adams. He
That's right,
when he was growing up as a kid, his dad used to bring a toy for all the players, to look at before the game, and the MVP of the game would get that toy. And so it's kind of a thing that all of them were able to get around and bring energy for the whole team. And so he brought that to our team last year, and that was kind of a thing that got things going for us.
What do you make of that? Because we've kind of, even in the big leagues now, we see the helmets and the Homer jackets and the medallions and stuff that guys are doing. What do you think's kind of started this whole trend of celebrating those types of with mementos in the dugout and whatnot?
For sure. I think it goes back just to playing like you're a kid out there again, and it brings the energy for everyone, the fans, everyone watching, your teammates. It kind of just brings that camaraderie for everyone. It brings everyone together for sure.
Matthew Martinez is our guest, reliever for your Arizona Wildcats. Obviously, you've got a little bit more of a prominent role this year in your senior year. What's your repertoire that you've been working in? How's that been successful for you with the strikeout to innings pitch ratio you have?
I would say it just going out there and just trying to compete for my team each and every day. I leave it on the field each and every time I'm out there, and I think that's the only way I'm able to, get those strikeouts or get those outs, just competing for the team.
What's your kind of attack process in terms of, when you're out there and how you want to try to get batters out?
Well, I've always been told growing up and throughout my college career is just get ahead. So as soon as you get ahead, you're in the driver's seat more than you actually were when you started that bat. So you get ahead, and it's a lot easier for you as a pitcher to get that guy out.
Obviously, maybe the walk number's not where you want it to be. How do you begin to control that and not put as many runners on base?
Yeah, it's frustrating actually because I go back. A lot of those walks, I have a lot of strikes in those at bats. But I'm not a guy that gets too worked up while I'm out there. I threw a strike. You just got to keep doing it. The umpire's not going to be perfect, and you just move on, make the next pitch. So a little bit of unlucky, calls, but that's baseball. So you just keep doing it, and that's my mindset for the rest of the year. Just keep going and keep working hard.
I was talking to your pitching coach, Sean Kenny, a little bit earlier in the show, and obviously I asked him about the loss early to Tony Pluta. How did that affect the bullpen?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the man. He was stopper of the year last year. I don't know if anyone knows how hard that is. That's really hard to do. There's a lot of teams out there, a lot of players, a lot of pitchers, a lot of closers, and he was the one that came out with that reward, and he deserved it. And so losing a guy like that is big for your team. But, it's the next guy up, and that's what he said to all of us. And he's there supporting us. He's our bullpen coach this year. So he's supporting in any way he can. So.
Yeah, so what does that entail? How's he worked with you specifically with your preparation process, your in-game process, or right before you go out there? What is he might give you, say something, here's where we are and what we're trying to do at this point.
Yeah, I would just say just being around him in general just is kind of a confidence booster. Just being around him, the energy he brings. He's super smart. He's an engineer. So he's able to, tell you the things that you need to know before you go out there. So he's telling you what guys' weaknesses are before you go out there and pitch. And, he's just giving you that confidence you need for sure.
All right, so have we recreated the family tree? Is there a palm line young lady right now that you found?
I'm actually engaged.
Oh, you're engaged?
Yeah,
well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, she goes to school here? Or
no, she goes to school in Phoenix. So she took a couple years off, but she's going into nursing now. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So when's the wedding?
It's in October. That's
October.
That's our date, yeah, October 16th.
So how much are you involved in the planning?
Oh, I'm kind of the yes man, I would say. I'm just the yes man. Whatever you want. Just don't spend too much money.
What's her name and how long you guys been together?
Her name's Alexandra Flores. And
Okay.
we've been together now 3.5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So would you meet in high school, junior college, or?
Met in junior college, actually.
Okay.
Through a friend of a friend, and it's my best friend, the love of my life.
All
and
right.
yeah, it's awesome.
What's the
man.
best thing about her?
Everything. There's not one thing, man. Not one thing. Everything. I wouldn't be with her if there was just one thing. Everything about her.
All right. So what colors are you wearing on wedding? Have you picked out the colors, your tux and all that yet, or?
I think she's going back and forth between
Okay.
like a baby blue and
All
a
right.
green. So I don't know. Whatever she wants me. You know how it is, man.
Outstanding. Any of the guys on the team standing up with you, or on this team, or no?
In terms of
the U of A, any groomsmen on this team here?
Oh, they'll definitely be. Yeah.
Okay.
For
Yes,
sure.
you haven't picked them out yet. You
Not
haven't-
yet. Not
Still
yet.
working on
Yeah,
that.
still working
How many
on
is she
that.
going to allow you to have?
I'm not sure. Who knows? I'm like, I want 20 of my guys.
Oh,
I want 30 up there.
Wow. I don't know if you could. I don't know if you know the prices that are involved with that many guys.
I know.
I was allowed to have 5. So.
That's probably more realistic for sure.
There you go. Hey, Matthew, appreciate your time. Continued success. Let's get this thing turned around and work our way back to Omaha.
Let's do it. Bear down.
Matthew Martinez, relief pitcher for your Arizona Wildcats. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. It's your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Crash in Catalina at Oracle and Wilds. Wilds Road and Oracle reported as a multi-vehicle collision. Other crashes at Silver Bell and Coachline in Silver Bell. Midtown Speedway in Columbus, vehicle into a tree and mostly impacting eastbound Speedway Boulevard at Columbus. And for your weather, chance of rain into the evening, 64 the overnight low and 78 the high tomorrow. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by the Hartford Auto Insurance.
Wait until you hear this. You could save hundreds by switching to AARP Auto Insurance from The Hartford. Visit trusthartford.com. The Hartford, your protection is our passion. The Hartford Insurance Group, Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are not insurers. Savings vary.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Grabbed by Del Orso, who drives the baseline and slams it home. He did what?
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WELL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WELL for 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WELL for 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code WELL.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call Trajan today at 321-4100. That's 321-4100.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
After 25 years, your Arizona Wildcats are back in the Final Four.
Crafty, creative, Houdini-like.
It's the national semifinals on Saturday. The two best teams in college basketball. Michigan versus Arizona. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona game day begins at 2:30. Tip-off at 5:49. Right here on your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy says he and Aaron Rodgers speak on the phone on a regular basis, yet the QB has yet to make a decision about his future. Another name has surfaced if Rodgers should decide to retire. Kirk Cousins threw 10 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in the 8 games he started for the Falcons last year, and has said he wants to play for a contender. Rodgers is by far the better option, but at a certain point, a franchise that has playoff aspirations can't wait around forever. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of our show as we take you up to first pitch tonight here at High Corbett Field, Arizona, West Virginia, non-conference affair. 6:05 first pitch, first to 5 here at High C for your Wildcats. Sun Devils will be in this weekend. And then New Mexico State to round out the homestand. Arizona has quite a few home games remaining still. 5 on this homestand, 3 against Kansas State, 3 against Houston, 1 against New Mexico State, 2 against New Mexico State overall, which includes 1 of the 5 on this homestand. So still some chances to get out here and see your Arizona Wildcats at High C. Again, they've got some work to do right now. They're sitting in the 13th position in the Big 12. They've got to be in the top 12 in order to be able to have a shot in the Big 12 tournament and maybe catch lightning in a bottle and get back to the postseason. Now, there was several items of Arizona women's basketball news today that I want to touch on before we get out of here. MJ Gerardo announced that she is going to transfer in an Instagram post saying, "Thank you, Wildcat Nation, for welcoming me with open arms." Thanking Coach Burke, amazing coaches, teammates, to the fans as well. She will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. MJ Gerardo, who came in here as a sharpshooting guard, but she is headed out. And also, maybe more sad news, but Montea Dew announced that she's retiring from basketball as she just not able to return from those 2 serious knee injuries that she suffered, the one in the 2 seasons ago and then the one at the end of last season where she was just not unable to play at all. Montana, in her post today, saying, "The game has given me so much more than I could have ever imagined. Wearing Arizona across my chest was truly an honor, and being part of this program and community is something I will always be grateful for. Thank you to my teammates, coaches, trainers, and the entire Wildcat community for the love and support throughout this journey, and the memories and relationships I gained here will stay with me forever, forever grateful, forever a Wildcat." Montea Dew, announcing her retirement today from the game of basketball. So a couple of items there from Arizona women's basketball today to keep note of. So really just 3 players and 2 that played coming back next season for Becky Burke. So we'll see how things transpire in terms of how she rebuilds this team in the portal. But it's going to be an entirely new squad next year for the second season for your Arizona women's basketball team. Gym Cats headed up to Tempe. They're going to be in the NCAA regionals this weekend, so they're on the road as well. Good luck to John Court and his ladies as they head up there to compete. They are routinely in the NCAA tournament every year, but they'll have some work to do to see if they can advance to night number 2 like they did last year. First time they'd been able to get to the second night of NCAA regionals in quite some time. So good luck to the Gym Cats as they try to do that this weekend up in Tempe. 520-848-1290 if you'd like to finalize this chance to get on the show before we get out of here for baseball. We'll follow back up. We'll have Matt Muehlbach on the show tomorrow afternoon. Matt had some things that came up, so he was not able to join us today, but we will talk to him, get his thoughts on Arizona basketball and their run to the Final Four coming up tomorrow. All right, let's get you your Casino del Sol replay for today. We had a chance earlier to hear from Tommy Lloyd, and Tommy talked about the reception that his basketball team got upon their return from San Jose early Sunday morning about 1:30 when the team got back, and all of you were out at McHale Center to join that team and to celebrate them on their West Regional Championship and getting back to the Final Four. Here was Tommy Lloyd on his feelings when he got off the bus Sunday morning.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
It was amazing, for one. And the first thing, they sent me off the bus first just to protect Briggs from all the fans. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome to see that people, were so excited and care that much, And, what makes my job really cool is people care. People care both ways, and it brings people together and it makes people emotional. My wife, I don't read a lot of this stuff, but she shared, an article with me on, about all the people saying what it means to them. And like, man, you almost tear up, hearing these people, the guy, a guy that works at the university here, told me that, his neighbor told him that it was, the last 25 years, this is the best thing that's happened in his life. And, during that time, the guy's gotten married and had 3 kids. So I was like, wow, pretty cool.
Did you see the video of the toddler singing Air Down or U of A in the crib after?
No, I didn't.
There's a video of someone let their 20-month-old stay up to watch the game, and then they had the camera on him in the bed, and he's just doing the U of A. Yeah, I mean, But you've mentioned that so many times about the resonation of the community here, so that probably doesn't surprise you.
I mean, a 20-year-old that can remember and sing a song, that's impressive. You know, a 20-month-old. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. You know, what's really cool, you know, from my experience here is just the generational aspect of the program and how it brings families together, and it's multiple generations that have, you know, kind of bond over it. You know, I think that's really special.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
J-Dub, did you see the video of the baby in the crib?
I did, yes, I did.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting, pretty funny. That the baby
you of
A. Start 'em young for sure. That was one of the better moments, I think, of the post hysteria that was the Arizona Wildcats winning the West Regional Championship.
My sister's first words, right? My sister Laura. Yeah, so my sister Laura, our father was a professor of medicine at Chapel Hill, North Carolina, next door neighbors with Dean Smith, and their grandparents were all South Carolina. Oh. They were all Gamecocks. And so her grandfather bounced Laura on her knee and said, "Beat Duke, honey, beat Duke," for months and months and months. And that's the legend in our family, is that Laura Madden, my sister's first words were "Beat Duke."
That's awesome. 520-848-1290. Let's hear from Nathan. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Always good to talk to you, gentlemen. I would just say, you know, in terms of the whole Tommy Lloyd thing and him possibly leaving, I think we just need to take a page as fans out of his book, and we need to do it game by game, and that might mean day by day for us. And you know, and I agree with you. If he chooses to go on, he's left us with greatness, and I don't think the community would have any hard feelings towards him. I mean, because at the end of the day, we all know this: money talks. And I saw a good fact today, and I'll leave you with this: both UConn basketball men's and women's team get the most money at their school. Do you guys even know UConn football at all? Of course not, because we know about UConn basketball, because that's where they invest their money at. You got to think of the same about other jobs as well. So go Cats! It'll be a great day when they keep advancing. Later,
Nathan. That is a great example of a school that is not football dominated. Right there. You're absolutely right in that respect.
Do they play any other sports up there in Stores other than basketball?
Well, their baseball team came down here and beat us up pretty good to start the season. I think that was the first time we were out here this year, was when UConn's baseball team was here. And what I think they won 2 out of 3, or did they won 3 out of 4 that weekend. So apparently, they've won some Big East championships recently in baseball. But yeah, nobody probably knows much about that. Everybody knows about Gino and Dan Hurley. And yeah, at one point back in the day, they were pretty decent in football. They got good there for a while. I think it was right about the time I was moving out here. In fact, I think the first year I was out here in 2008 was the year they played in the Fiesta Bowl. So they used to be able to play a little bit of football out there.
They got 2 titles in soccer, men's soccer, 81 and 2000, and they've got 5 field hockey national championships.
Oh, wow. There you go.
But it looks like those are the only 2 sports they have titles in other than men's and women's basketball. Let's see, 12 on the women's side and 6 on the men's side.
I said, you know, we talked about it when the Wildcats joined the Big 12. I think that would be a great addition if they were looking for another team. That would be, and granted, it's not maybe. I mean, again, it's a little bit out there in terms of, but again, this conference is all over the place. So why not UConn? Why not UConn as a potential Big 12 team? It would make it an even stronger basketball conference, and on both sides. Although, I mean, well, maybe not on both sides, because they would absolutely dominate on the women's side. Yeah, but
right.
we were talking yesterday about teams that where the Michigan had an opportunity to get both teams into the Final Four. UConn, though, was able to do that. They got both their men's and their women's teams. Michigan women coming up just a a tad short against Texas. But my bracket is still good on the women's side, J-Dub. I had all 4 of the teams that made the Final Four. I picked all 4 of those teams. And I said last week I'd pick UCLA as my champion. I actually have UConn as my champion. I forgot I picked UConn in the end to win it all.
Yeah, I had Iowa State and Houston, so unfortunately that didn't go super great. But I think, I'm pretty sure I got the other 2 right. I mean, I definitely had the other 2 sides to that, right?
Or
but
women's side?
on the men's side, on the men's side of things, I was hoping for, we got the storyline of all the Big Ten schools in the Elite Eight and the 2 that made the Final Four. I was hoping for the Big 12 schools to rise, and Houston just had a bad shooting night. Iowa State bad injury. Who knows what could have happened if not for that? But it's a very powerful Final Four. I think the only outliers maybe, Illinois, and they're still a great team, one of the best offensive teams in the country.
All right, Arizona, West Virginia baseball tonight here. First pitch coming up at about 11 minutes or so, 6:05 first pitch here. Only the 8th time these 2 teams have ever played baseball against each other. And Arizona leads the all-time series 4-3. That's going to wrap up our show for today. We'll be back with you tomorrow here in Tucson from 3 to 6, and then we'll be traveling all night, red-eye style, to get to Indianapolis, where we will commence coverage on Thursday, Friday, and semifinals on Saturday. DK on the Sports Tip Thursday and Friday. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day on Saturday.
So we've done a lot of breakfasts with DK. Is that dinner with DK? Since we're like 6 there?
Dinner with DK. Exactly. Thanks to JW Madden, Dragon Ball off today. Cricket, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Chat with you tomorrow. Have a great night. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290
all
traffic.
Set. Matt says 540 works fine for him.
And Speedway vehicle into a tree.
Yep. By the way, I got the Michigan play-by-play guy. He called me. I got his contact info. I told him you'd be out that way and that we would just, find a way for you guys to hook up while you're out there. The radio play-by-play voice.
Cricket with your Wildcats Radio
1290
traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
In Tucson, a lot of people make their living on construction sites, on the road, or working in warehouses across town. If you're injured at work, you have rights. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you. You look like you were a million miles away. I've been reading this book. How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification. It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens. And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling? AlaskanAC.com. Schedule now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code Champion25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code Champion25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code Champion25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
5 Final Fours.
9 seconds left. Can you believe it? Yes, you can. We'll see you in Indy on Saturday.
We are your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.